Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farmville. Oh, we've got our combine all the way over here. I'm just, right, I've unhitched. And we need to get this unfolded and hooked in. So I'm back doing a new round of recording, and I have been told that the quick bale, the round baler that we've got, doesn't actually go any faster than that. Even if we were to get the faster version, it still doesn't go faster than that. We could alter the bale capacity so that we've got much bigger bales, but it doesn't really change very much. So what I might do actually is swap that one out for a square baler at some point. I mean, we might keep it for now for the just for the rest of this year, because I do want to use the majority of the money that we got left to buy a bigger tractor, and I think that would sort of help us out quite a lot with the series. I've also been doing a little bit of thinking, because I did mention a little while ago that I might take a little bit of a break from some of the farming simulator content that I make and do something else instead, and I'm still kind of thinking along those lines. I was thinking that I would keep the crazy unrealistic series running and change, once I've sort of played this series out, play some other games for a little while, because quite a few of you did actually seem to think that that might be a good idea. Yes, I know that some of you do really like just having the farming simulator stuff, but I'm sort of thinking that maybe it wouldn't hurt to change things up a little bit. So I was thinking about some other games that I could play. I did have some requests to play the new bus simulator game, well, the newer version of it. It's been out for a little while now. I've actually got, I've been given the key for the car mechanic simulator, the newer version of it, and yes, it's been out for quite a while now, I admit that, but there's quite a few DLCs and that go with it, and I've been given some of those as well, so I thought I might do a week, maybe 2 weeks of car mechanic simulator, just to do a little bit of that. We can have a look through some of the others. Playway do quite a lot of different simulator games, kind of like the car mechanic one. There's a motorcycle mechanic, there's a new one coming out now soon called Off-Road Mechanic Simulator. They're all of the same type of thing, so I don't want to do just those types of games, but those are quite popular when it comes to simulator type games. The bus one, I did quite enjoy doing that. I only did a sort of shorter series of it, mainly because I felt that I'd kind of run out of things to do, and it would just be really repeating myself a lot. But some of you have said that you actually really liked my take on that, where I was pretending to be just a crime boss and running the city for myself and for my criminal underlings. I did quite enjoy doing that, I must admit, and so I'm open to the idea of having another round of it. We'll see how things go. Let's just leave it like that for now. We'll see how things pan out. I may do that again, I may not, I'm not quite sure. But what I wanted to ask you was, because I'm going to play this series out, I said that what I wanted to do with this series was repay the loan and have 100,000 of each type of... We got some major traffic issues going on here. I think this is every car on the map now. Where else was it that I used to see this? The Dowland Farm series, the time-lapse series, the Dowland Farm series. There was one, I think it was 1 point, there might have been 2 points on a map where this would also happen, where you would get these traffic jams. The way to clear them is you just tab into something that's a little distance away, and then the cars just all kind of vanish, and then you'll see them moving around the map again. So it's not something that's stuck there permanently. It's just kind of a temporary thing while they figure out what they want to do with their lives. So anyway, other simulator games. I'm going to play out this series. What I thought I'll do is I'll play this series out, and then we'll take a little bit of a break on this end of the week so that I'm playing a few other simulator type games. There was another one that's been out for a little bit now. It's also quite a big, I think that one's also Playway. which is the Farm Manager game. So it's basically, you're not actually driving any of the machines. It was more of a map type approach rather than down on the ground and in the machines. And you're managing the entire farm. And the older version of that one that I did do a short series on, actually really enjoyed that game. I thought that was really good. And apparently the newer one has got a whole load more features that have just improved the game in all kinds of ways. So that's definitely another one that I was going to look at. To be quite honest, I was kind of torn between going for Car Mechanic Simulator for a couple of weeks or doing that one for a couple of weeks to start off with. I'm not quite sure yet. I still haven't made up my mind. I will probably cover both of them and then have a look at a few of the other games that we've got on offer at the moment as well. I'm going to stick with simulator games because like, there are other games that I can play. There is plenty of other games that I actually really enjoy playing, but I feel that simulator games is probably the best thing to stick with because I know that a lot of you like and enjoy playing simulator games as well as watching them being played. So that's the sort of thing that I'll stick with for now, and we'll see how that works out for us. It's quite handy having all the cars stuck off there on the side, because it means I can go up through here without any worries at all. So we'll come into this field here. This is the only one that we've got these two fields right now. Oh, wait, haven't we got the wheat field as well, the big wheat field? I'm not sure. I can't actually remember. Let me harvest this one. So we've got oats in here. I won't be able to fold the combine up, but what we will be able to do is I can drive the tractor and trailer back in a minute, and then we can take the header off of this one, we can put it on the trailer, and we can drive it back with the combine unfolded, and then we can unload the oats into storage. So, actually, the oats and the barley can all go to the mill to be turned into flour. So I think we can take that directly to the mill to be turned into flour rather than storing it at all. That might be better. And then it's the other crops that we can't go doing that to. So move on around this way and go up through there, like that. So because we are doing the flour route and we're not doing the dairy route, so the milk that we get from our cows is all going to be sold direct to the sell point every day. When we at the start of every day, we'll sell whatever milk we've got to the sell point, and then that's what we get from our milk from our cows. The grain, though, I have talked about possibly getting a bakery, and some of you think that I should, some of you think that I shouldn't, some of you think it's sort of heading towards a production thing. I've given it quite a lot of thought. I'm going to get a bakery. I'm not going to get it yet because I don't think I got the right money for it just yet. I want to get a tractor, so we'll start off by just doing the flour, and I've looked at the numbers on it. Someone on Reddit somewhere had posted up a really useful little Excel spreadsheet. People always produce Excel spreadsheets. It doesn't matter what the game is, there is an Excel spreadsheet somewhere that has been made purely for the game to tell you all of the little tiny details. And there was one posted on Reddit about the productions, and almost all of the productions are profitable. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you put them through, and most of them get you around 20% extra. So you put the grain through the mill and you end up with about, as long as you sell, this is taking the best prices. So you've always got to hold the material, whatever you're doing, whatever you're processing, you've got to hold it until you get the best prices. So you put grain into the mill and then you sell it as flour, you get about 20% more than you would if you sold it just as flour. If you put the grain, if you take the flour and then you put it through the bakery and then you sell the bread at the best time, you get about 20% more on the bread than you would if you sold it as flour. So it is a good step up on each of those instances, and most things, there are some that you actually get a bigger increase. I think fabric into clothing was about a 20% jump, but I think wool into fabric, you actually had a bigger jump than that. There were a couple of them that you did have higher, but I can't remember what they are now. I do remember, though, butter. If you use the thing to make butter, you actually make a slight loss. And now that may have been changed. The prices may have been altered ever so slightly now. But it was that if you made butter with your milk, you would actually get a slightly lower amount of money coming in than if you sold your milk directly. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you're making a complete loss. It just means to say that compared to selling just milk, rather than turning it into butter, you do actually lose a little bit of money on it. That surprised me. I didn't realize that. Cheese, on the other hand, you make a fortune. Cheese is a really good step up, and sugar is about a 20% one. But cheese is apparently a really good one. Butter is definitely not. So that did surprise me a little bit to learn that, but I actually thought that was quite interesting information. So, I mean, it doesn't affect us on this series because we're not going to be making anything from a dairy, but it is an interesting... I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if anyone's run any numbers more recently. If you have... Look, see, we moved away from where the cars were, so now they've all freed themselves up. It's because we were down the end of the field over there, so it was just out of range of the cars. I need to now get up the road without the cars getting in the way. I've got to get... Oh, he's turning off, that's right. Right. Let's have our beacons on. It's probably a bit better if we do that. So, what I will do... Actually, if I bring the combine over here... I'll turn the beacons off now, because I'm not going back on the road. I'll unhitch the header, but what I'll do is I'll unload here, because I'm going to take that grain... Oh, wait, no. Well, have we got another one to harvest? I think field 22 is also ready. Growth. Right, field 22 is also ready. So we can keep the wheat for the chickens. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep the barley for the chickens. The chickens are only going to have barley. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's not quite... Oh, I love the snap-on feature. That's absolutely fantastic. That wasn't quite what we wanted. I wasn't unhitching like that. But that, that little snap-to feature is just brilliant. I love it. Right. Chickens are 5 litres per chicken per month. How many chickens can we get in our chicken pen? Let's go and have a look over here. There. 360. So I need 21,600 litres of grain per year in order to feed the chickens. And we have got... There's 4,000 litres in there. We've got 7,600 litres of barley at the moment. So what I'm going to do is the barley, I'm going to take that back to the farm, and I'm going to tip that into the chicken pen, and then we can buy some chickens. We can get some chickens straight away. I'm going to get, I would say, if I get 100 chickens, start things off with, and we'll keep the pen full, and then we'll let the chickens sort of breed up the rest of them themselves. I think that would probably be an okay way of doing it, because the chickens do breed pretty quickly anyway, so buying in 100 would be fine. So I need about 22,000 litres of grain per year for the chickens. If I was to make sure that I've got about 50,000 litres, that would definitely, like, well, alright, let's say 40,000 litres, so that we've got some spare. I mean, actually what I want is 22,000 litres extra. So I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to buy... Right, there's 0. It takes 6 months for them. So I'm going to buy adult chickens. I always like to have a rooster. We'll buy a rooster. So we'll actually have 359 chickens. Because roosters don't produce chickens. They don't produce eggs. So we go here, where we get 60 of those. That's only 3,300, so I'm going to get 120. Like that. There we go. Right, so I now have 120 chickens. And if I go towards chicken, there we go. So we've got 121 in there. They can have 8,000 litres of food, which means that we will need to top them up 3 times a year in order to keep them fully fed when we've got a full pen of animals. So I'm going to put all the barley in, and then I'll run this trailer over to here, and we can take off the bit of oats. Now, the oats can't go in there, so we'll take the oats down to the mill and deposit them in there so that that can be ground up, and then I suspect most of the wheat will end up being kept to feed the chickens. And yes, I would like to put some more of it into the mill in order to get some money there. We do have a bit of sorghum here. The sorghum, that will go into the chickens. I won't sell, although actually, no, not the chickens, the mill. I think we can put that into the mill as well. Let's just double check. We shouldn't have very many productions. We got the biogas and we got this one. Right, sorghum, oat, barley, and wheat. So we haven't got a lot of items in there. So let's unfold you a minute. One round that way. And we tip out the oats. So we got 4,000 litres in there. It's going to give us a little bit of flour. It's not going to be a lot. We're not going to get a load of money from that. But we are also going to have other crops that we're going to be harvesting and doing something with, which is going to be great. So we're going to drive on down here, down the back road, and we're going to set this one up ready to start harvesting the wheat right there. So we need 22,000 litres in total. So I would say, considering that we've, the way our fields are laid out, now we're not necessarily going to have lots and lots of spare, because basically my crop rotation is going to be, I'm just going to work down through the list of the crops that we've got. We're not doing the root crops, so we're just running down through this. So that means some of the smaller fields we might struggle to get enough food. So I'm thinking that if we have 30,000 litres of food, whatever it is, spare for the chickens at the end of the harvest, that means that we should have enough for the year and also the following year if the 3 fields that can potentially 2 fields, because barley and wheat isn't, I don't think they can take sorghum. I'm not actually sure about that. I need to have a look. We'll check the chickens in a minute. We kind of need to just make sure that the chickens will have enough food. That's going to be our main thing, is making sure there's enough food there for the chickens. So now we're actually able to get started on those. So let's tip the oats in here. As the oats gone in there, I will start that one up there. So we've got a little bit. So there's 4,000 there. It's going to give us, I think, what, 5,000 total? So about 5 pallets of flour we'll have ready for, that should be ready for the winter, I'm hoping. Right, can I get out of here? Yep. And I can even fit as well. So I'm still not sure if we're actually going to use the biogas plant. A few of you have said that you don't think it would be a good idea at all for me to go and take the slurry and the manure from the cows and put it through the biogas plant. It'd be better just chuck it straight on the field. I'm inclined to agree with you, actually. What I do need is an electric charge point for our thingy while I think about it. So let's find one of those a second. That one there is a free charger. It costs 8,000 euros. And then the base game is that one. It's 5,000 euros. I'm curious how much time you'd have, how many times you'd have to recharge the machine to pay for the extra 3 grand on that. I'm thinking that you'd have to play the game for a really, really long time. Either that or get more electric machines. I mean, that is also the option. You know, if we went and got a few more. Pump for silage additive. Okay, that's actually a pretty cool idea. I genuinely like that idea. How much is that one? That's 5 grand. No, not at the moment, but I do genuinely actually like that idea. So we want a charging station, and we're going to bring that one. Oh, right. I don't want it anywhere near these others because it will actually interfere with them. I think it will. Right, so let's have our charge. It'd be better if you could put the charge. Oh, we can. Sweet. You can't always put these types of objects inside buildings, but apparently you can with this one. Can I do this and make it work? I can't bring it down low enough because it's hopping up on top of the building. I want to put this in the corner over here. Bring it round that way. You can have these outside. Let's not do that. Let's have this one outside. I'll put that one over there like that, because you can actually have a charging station outside. I know this because my parents' charging station for their car is mounted on the wall outside their house. Yeah. I know that you can have them outside, so we'll just keep it outside and keep it simple. Right then, we are now going to do the field of wheat. So this big field of wheat right here should give us all of the grain that we need for our harvest and for our chickens, and I'm hoping it will give us a little bit extra besides. So I want to put about 30,000 litres of wheat into storage, ready for the chickens. And then I've really got to hope that we don't have some major disaster come along and destroy some of the wheat. So 30,000 litres is more than what we need for a whole year. I've already put 8,000 litres in for the chickens, or just under. And what we're going to be left over with is the extra. Well, so another 30,000 litres on top of that means that we've got almost 40,000 litres of grain total for the chickens, including what I have just now dumped into them, which is nearly 2 years' supply. That does also give us a little bit of insulation for some of those disasters that we know might happen. We might get mold in the stored crops. I don't know if I got one where rats eat it all or something like that, but there are a number of them where some of the crop gets damaged. And yes, I'm going to be keeping more of the crops. Like by the time we finish our harvest, we should have several stored crops. But the problem with that is that most of them are sold in December and January. There's a couple that last until later in the year, and we get a bit of money later on, but not yet. Also, this field, I'm going to make it slightly bigger. I'm going to just take out this kind of circle bit right here. We already did the grass one. This one will be done before we start on our next bit of planting, so we'll just make this a little bit bigger. So we're going to have quite a big field here, and I'm going to want to start buying up some more of the other fields eventually. I mean, I can't do that yet. We don't have the money for it. We're on 193,000 right now. So buying up a little bit more. Wait, why is that on 193? What did how have I spent? Did I have like almost exactly two? Yeah, but I only bought one of those electric charging things. That was 5 grand. What else have I spent money? Hold up. Some inky is going on here. New line. Oh, that was the one. I remember now. I bought chickens. It's okay. Panic over. I thought for a minute that electric charging station it cost me a weird amount, because I thought I'd like 205,000, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I didn't spend 12 grand on a charging station. It was supposed to be 5 grand. I mean, I was looking at the one for 8 and thinking that was a bit overpriced. So how have I spent 12 grand? It's okay, I bought chickens. It's alright. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Once around this field, and we have got 6,000 litres of wheat. I'm thinking that most of the wheat this year is going to be going into storage. Actually, I don't need to empty out yet. We can go once more around the field. We will be using our lovely great big rake, and we will follow along around the field with rake so that we can do the baling a little bit quicker. Apparently it's to do with the windrow size on the baler, and I did think this was a bit of an issue with them. I was hoping that it wasn't, but apparently it is, so I will do a bit more with the quick bale and see if it does go a little bit faster or not with the bigger bale capacity that I'm going to have, because I did the smallest bales on the last one, but now we're going for much bigger bales. If that doesn't work, I'm going to switch to a square baler. Now, I'd really like the Chrome Big Pack baler, because in real life, that one can go really fast. Goes like manure off a shovel. It really does. It's absolutely brilliant. That's one of the main selling features of the Chrome Big Pack, or at least it was a couple of years ago when I did a load of research into it, is that it goes something like 25% faster than its nearest rivals. Now, I think actually most of the nearest rivals have now made their balers faster as well, which is why they're no longer faster, but everything should be faster. So I think they're like 25 kilometers an hour or something instead of the 18 that the game has them at, which, now, you can't really quantify a baler in real life by the speed that it travels along the windrow, because every single windrow is different speed and you bale according to the conditions. Like, the way you bale is you keep it absolutely stuffed full and right on the verge of collapsing under its own weight. And you do quite literally, you drive down the row. With the older balers that had a shear pin on them, you would drive down the row and you would keep a close eye on the straw going into the front of the baler. If the straw was flowing evenly through, you could go faster, and you were expected to. If the straw, as it was going into the front of the baler, was just kind of pausing slightly every time the ram stroked backwards, then you were doing it about right. Because what that slight pause was the baler was getting stuffed full, and it doesn't continuously feed straw up into the chamber. It puts the straw in for a while, and then the ram strokes down through, and as the ram strokes through, the straw has to pause in the pre-compression chamber and gather there. So if you're running it so the straw is flowing continuously and smoothly up onto the pickup header, the collection header at the front, at the pickup reel, it means that as the ram strokes back and then pulls towards the tractor again, it isn't losing any, like, the straw is still going in and then it's filling up. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.